welcome to Xbox Ready. I'm Ray, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about everything going on in the world of Xbox, the latest news, rumors, pretty much anything I want to talk about as long as it's related to Xbox in some way. And yes, in order to make people forget that Xbox is shutting down the 360 digital storefront, the beloved 360 blades are back. Sort of. They're returning as a dynamic background that you can put on your modern day Xbox Series X or S. I was really excited about it, but now that I'm actually looking at it, it's not that great. I would definitely classify this as like a bottom tier dynamic background. This does not give me my blades fix at all. This just makes me want the real thing. So yeah, a little bit disappointing, not the end of the world. If you want to check it out for yourself, you can go on over to settings, personalization, go on down to my backgrounds, dynamic backgrounds, and you'll be able to find it in the featured section. But even though we can't travel back in time to the 360 generation, comb through those blades, go to the music section, boot up Oblivion, and have the time of your life, there is still plenty to look forward to as an Xbox fan. Like this new Deadpool controller that is coming out. Now, when I first saw this controller, everyone's been writing about it now. It's the cheeked up controller, the BBL controller. But before I saw any of that, I was just on YouTube and I saw this trailer that Xbox put out for it. It was like this cheeky new Xbox controller. I was like, okay. And what kills me about it is that it is just straight up just like a regular old trailer for a controller like they usually do. And then all of a sudden, bam, cheeks, double cheeked up, ass all over the place. And I was like, wait, hold on. This is a special edition Deadpool controller commemorating the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Like many of these controllers and special edition consoles that Xbox does, you can't buy it. You gotta enter into sweepstakes. There's only a limited number of them. But I got so many questions, man, because on one end, it is a really cool controller. Then you flip it over, it's just giant Deadpool cheeks, bro. And it's like, how would you even, ergonomically, how would this even work? Like, how would you even use this controller to play anything? I guess that's not really the point. The point was it's supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be a collector's item, and it has the internet talking, so yeah, I guess it's a success. Fellas, is it wrong for me to want this controller? Outside of BBL double-cheeked up controllers, Alpha Skip-Ahead insiders are currently working on a feature that will apparently give us more ways to download our games, or at least download the parts of the games that we actually want or are actually going to play. In the latest patch notes for this test build that Xbox is running, there's a section called Game Installation, Choose What to Install. We've added a new option that will appear before installing games with additional downloadable content or features. Choose what to install. Whether you want to save some space, reduce the time it takes to download, or you're just not interested in the content, this new option provides more control over your game installations before you can even start. Now, this is something that we sort of already have, but it's cool that they're offering this feature to a wider variety of games, especially for that upfront download. Downloads like these games are getting out of hand. They're getting way too bloated. It's definitely ideal if you're out there and you're like, I just want to play the campaign stuff. I don't care about the multiplayer stuff, which does eat up a lot of storage room. It's crazy because at the start of this generation, I'm like, I got my Series X, I got a full terabyte of storage. This is awesome. I'm never gonna run out of room, and I run out of room all the time because games are just that big. Uncompressed sound files, all of these additional textures, and all sorts of other stuff that just make it eat up so much storage space. Theoretically, cloud gaming could eliminate all of that because, well, you're not downloading the game, right? You're streaming it to whatever device, your console, your PC, your phone, your Amazon Fire Stick. And Xbox's cloud gaming efforts have taken an interesting turn this week. We all know that they have a partnership with Nvidia GeForce now. In order to get the Activision Blizzard deal over the finish line, they were like, okay, we're going to play nice with these other cloud gaming companies so this deal can get approved over in the UK specifically. So we're going to offer 10-year contracts to Boosteroid, Nvidia GeForce now, to guarantee that games like Call of Duty and other Xbox first-party stuff can be made available on their cloud streaming platforms. Their partnership with GeForce Now started to take shape back in 2023. That's when they were like, yeah, there are certain Xbox first-party games like Ghostwire Tokyo. I think Deathloop was also on there as well. Previously, they weren't available on GeForce Now to stream, but now they are. And a couple of weeks back, there were rumors that me and my buddy Jimmy were discussing on this channel that they were going to start integrating it into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. People started seeing stuff on their PC Xbox app that was like, hold on, wait a minute, why am I seeing GeForce Now stuff on my Xbox app? And this week, Xbox and Nvidia GeForce Now, they are taking the first couple of steps to making sure that that integration is a reality. Now, before I say anything else, GeForce Now is not available through the PC Xbox app or on your Xbox consoles, but it is available on the Xbox website. Basically, if you go to the Xbox website and you look up a game, the example that they use is Starfield, there's going to be a couple of options. You'll be able to, of course, buy it, download it to your PC or your console, and where the cloud gaming option is, you should now see, oh, there's like multiple options. If you want to stream this, you can stream it through Xbox Cloud Gaming, or you can stream it through GeForce Now. And that makes things very, very interesting because it's on one end, it's like, well, you are someone who has a cloud gaming platform. Why would you want to invite competitors, especially when it's widely understood? I haven't tried it myself, but it is widely understood that GeForce Now smokes Xbox cloud gaming, just like absolutely destroys it in terms of resolution, frame rate, stability. Nvidia, for all intents and purposes, has Xbox absolutely freaking cooked when it comes to cloud gaming. But while a dual Game Pass and GeForce Now subscription may not be for everyone, especially because the top tier for GeForce Now is $20, I still see some utility in it. Number one, if you have a lot of Steam games, well then it's a no-brainer. You can use GeForce Now to play all the games in your library and it'll be awesome. And as a result of this partnership with Xbox, you can also play a lot of PC Game Pass games through the Nvidia GeForce Now servers, and also Xbox games that you own. To be clear though, not every Xbox game that you buy through the Microsoft Store is supported through GeForce Now. Right now, I think the list is like 46 games, but we know that every Activision Blizzard game is going to be supported at some point, and you gotta imagine that that list is just going to keep on growing. So yeah, maybe if you have Game Pass Ultimate, it may not be worth it to spring for GeForce Now, especially with that price increase that we're going to be hit with come September. But if you have PC Game Pass, you got games that you've bought through the Microsoft Store and through Steam. This partnership between Nvidia and Xbox may not be super interesting to you right now, but it could be a couple of years down the line. I can only assume that if Nvidia is being integrated into the Xbox website, that the PC Xbox app and even Xbox consoles are soon to follow. And if it comes to Xbox consoles, well, that would just be crazy. Because if you have a good internet connection and you can stream games reliably, you can use GeForce Now to play games on your Xbox console. And you can game on a freaking 4080 on the top tier of the subscription. So you'd be able to play games at 4K resolution, 120 FPS. So while there are some things about this partnership, this integration that I find questionable, there's a lot more stuff that I find cool about it. Full transparency though, I haven't tried GeForce Now for myself. I've been trying out Xbox cloud gaming a lot more since this whole Amazon Fire Stick thing came out. I've done a couple of videos about the Fire Stick, and people, they're always coming at me with suggestions. They're like, well, Ray, you got to make sure that you have Ethernet plugged in. You got to make sure that you're using this type of controller. You got to make sure you're doing this. You got to make sure you're doing that. So I wanted to revisit some things when it comes to cloud gaming. I was like, okay, so all the stuff you see behind me, my consoles, they're operating wirelessly in terms of their internet connection. Same thing with the Fire Stick that I have downstairs on my TV. But my PC setup that's just right off camera over here is directly connected via Ethernet. So I was like, okay, let's try some things out. This is the only avenue where I haven't experienced Xbox cloud gaming. I've used it on my phone, I've used it on my iPad, the Fire Stick, my console. Let's try it on my PC, which again has a direct Ethernet connection. So I decided to play Immortals of Avium, which is a game that I tried on the Amazon Fire Stick. I also used a wired controller for this. The Ethernet connection and that direct wired controller connection immediately addressed my biggest issues that I've had with cloud gaming thus far. The frame stuttering and also the controller input lag. So far so good, but as you can see in this footage, the resolution took a crazy hit. This is, of course, just one game, and I've also played Immortals of Avium on my Series X, and for whatever reason, it's just not like the best looking game ever. It doesn't seem like a very well optimized game. But even so, you can see the resolution. It's just cheeks, bro, especially in this like alternate training world that they got going on. And you see a lot of pixelation when it comes to the magic animations, like whenever you reload or whenever you shoot off a spell. So yeah, the performance was improved, the controller input lag was improved, but the resolution, ooh, yikes. Even so, I would say that is a fair trade-off compared to what I was experiencing in previous cloud gaming sessions. And just because I'm poo-pooing on the resolution during this particular session, I still see some utility when it comes to Xbox cloud gaming. Number one, on my PC, well, I say it's a PC, but really it's a gaming laptop, I don't have a ton of storage for games. Using cloud gaming, especially in that exact scenario with the Ethernet connection, it makes it so I can try out a game, see if I like it, without having to do this whole dance of, deleting some stuff and then making room for this new game that I'm trying to download. That also applies to games that I would want to play on my Series X. Before I dedicate the time and the energy to downloading something on my console, which again is wireless, so it goes a little bit slower, I can check it out through the PC Xbox app if it's on Game Pass Ultimate, see if I like it before doing all that. It's a shame that there has to be, again, a very specific set of circumstances for me to really enjoy cloud gaming. Hopefully Xbox will continue to put in the work to make sure that the experience is the same or comparable across all cloud gaming avenues, mobile, Fire Stick, PC, console, whatever. Because I'm still a believer of cloud gaming. I know I've done a lot of poo-pooing on it, a lot of like, oh, it's good sometimes, but bad other times, but I still think it could be really cool. I'll wrap up the video because I want to update my thoughts a little bit. Last week, I talked about an 8-bit DOE controller that I thought was really, really cool, and I still think it's cool. But something happened. I'm referring to the Xbox Ultimate C wired controller. The joysticks in this are Hall effect versus analog, and that's the first time I had experienced joysticks like that, and I was like, this is really, really cool. But I was playing Fallout, and all of a sudden, my guy just kept like stutter stepping in terms of his movement, and at one point he was just permanently walking. He couldn't run, he couldn't jog, he just slowed down to a walk. And I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm not encumbered, I'm not crippled, I don't have a status effect that would affect my movement. What is going on? So I quit the game, I power cycled a bunch, and I was like, what is going on? For an hour, I couldn't figure out why my character was just walking through the wasteland. And then I tried to Google it, cannot run in Fallout 3. And of course, all of the support posts are from like 14 years ago when the game came out. I tried texting Jimmy and he was like, well, are you encumbered? Well, are you this? I'm like, no, none of that. Then I was like, you know what? Let me just change over to a different controller. So I switched over to my Elite and it fixed the problem instantly. I don't know if these Hall effect sensors are trying to be too cute with it and it's messing with the input or the communication with the game. I haven't checked it out to see if it would happen in other games, but it's just something I want to make people aware of, especially if you're seriously considering buying these controllers. Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you like my content, if you like Xbox, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, set your notifications to be alerted whenever I post a video so you can be Xbox Ready. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.